everyone and welcome to Akshata's Recipes. Well, my very first recipe on YouTube was about 2 years ago, and it was a pav bhaji recipe that I just thought up. I'll just, for the fun of it, I was just going to post it on YouTube and see what response I get. And it was an overwhelming response, and that gave me the confidence to go on to putting up more and more recipes. Well, I thought today, why not update my pav bhaji recipe, and that's why today I will be showing you a pav bhaji recipe, but a cheese pav bhaji recipe. And I know it's sometimes very difficult for people to go back all the way down and scroll to 2 years ago videos. I mean, there are many repetitions of old recipes that I'm putting up again. That's because sometimes, for all of my new subscribers and new viewers, to actually go back and scroll right down to get a particular recipe is sometimes tedious. And that's why I keep putting up updated versions of the old recipes that were there about 2 years ago. And so today I will be putting up a pav bhaji recipe, a cheese pav bhaji recipe, and this is such a delicious recipe, and it has very few ingredients, and it is really tasty. And I also, whenever I make pav bhaji, I also make this lovely garlic chutney. It's amazing, especially for those of you who look for that extra punch in a pav bhaji. So I will leave the link of that recipe. Please go and check out that recipe. It's super simple, and you're going to love it, and you're going to want to make it all the time with your pav bhaji. In fact, you can make a batch of it, and you can store it in your refrigerator. It has a long shelf life, and whenever you're making pav bhaji, just serve this at the side with some soft delicious pav. So I hope you like today's recipe. I hope you give it a big thumbs up, and I hope you hit the red subscribe button that you see below this video if you haven't already. So guys, let's get started with today's cheese pav bhaji. So let's go through the ingredients for this very easy and simple cheese pav bhaji. I'm going to be using 2 medium onions, 1 large onion chopped very fine, 2 large potatoes which I've boiled and peeled and grated. You can also mash it. Here is 1 medium sized capsicum or bell pepper cut fine, 1 medium tomato cut fine. This is 1 lime, so I'm going to be using the juice of 1 lime. This is 2 to 3 tablespoons of pav bhaji masala, 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder, some coriander leaves and salt to taste, and of course the grated cheese and some ginger garlic paste. So let's begin making this very simple and quick and very easy, delicious pav bhaji. Now I'm going to be using 2 tablespoons of oil in a large pot or pan. Once our oil is hot, we're going to add our onions, and we're going to give these onions a very good fry. This is very key in any pav bhaji. You want to fry your onions, your ginger garlic and your capsicums really well. So you can keep your flame between medium to high, not a very high flame, but between medium and high, and you're going to keep an eye on your onions and you're going to fry them very well. Now we're going to add some ginger garlic paste, about 2 teaspoons. I have a recipe for homemade ginger garlic paste which has a very long shelf life. I will leave a link in the description box below. So we're going to fry this really well till all the rawness of the onions and the ginger garlic goes away, and we have a lovely aroma of this lovely fried ginger garlic and onions. So once that is done, we're now going to add in our capsicum or bell pepper. This adds a lovely flavor to this pav bhaji. I use just a few ingredients, but the end result is just amazing. Now we're going to add the tomatoes. Give that also a very good fry. Frying everything, keeping an eye on it, and frying on a medium to high flame is very important to get that perfect pav bhaji. So now we're going to add the pav bhaji masala. You can use any brand and fry it very well. I will be coming up with a recipe for homemade pav bhaji powder masala very soon. Now I'm going to be adding the Kashmiri red chili powder. This adds a lovely color to the pav bhaji. Now if you want to go with a more spicy pav bhaji, then you can add 1 teaspoon of regular red chili powder. Because the pav bhaji masala also has a little bit of spiciness in it, but if you want to go one step ahead, you can add 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. So now once everything is really very well fried, we're going to add about 1 cup of water at room temperature. What this does is just cooks up everything really well and, makes everything just perfect. So add that water and then put your flame on high and let the water start bubbling. Keep stirring it for some time. Now it's always good to use a large pot for your pav bhaji. And now we're going to add grated potatoes. Or you can even mash them up, but just ensure there are not many lumps in your potatoes. And then just give everything a good mix. We're still keeping our flame a little on the higher side, medium to high. Give everything a very, very good mix. And now it's time to get the masher out, and we're going to be mashing this really, really well. So you get this pav bhaji masher. It's easily available in any general store. So just give this a good mash. We want it to be really nicely pulped down. Okay, now we're going to add some more water. So I'm going to add about 2 cups of water. And we are going to give everything a very good mix. Now, if you feel that you want it even more finer, you can continue mashing it till you get a very, very, very fine consistency. You know, how you really like to have your pav bhaji. It shouldn't be mixer kind of ground and pulped, but with the masher. And once that is done, we're going to let it cook for about a minute or 2. And now it's time to add some salt to taste. You can start with 1 teaspoon and just taste it. And if you want some more, then you can add some more too. Now mix all of this very, very well together. And now we're going to just put a lid on it, cover it up, and cook it on a very low flame for about 10 minutes. Because everything has to really come together like this. So now all you have to do is just turn off the flame and add a nice big garnish of some chopped coriander. And then we're going to squeeze some lovely lemon. You can add a dollop of butter to it. And now it's time to nicely put butter on both sides of your pav and just give it a nice toast. And then just serve up this pav bhaji with this lovely pav with some nice, very finely chopped onions and some grated cheese. And don't forget to include the special chutney, the garlic and chili chutney. Now for the tomato chutney, we are first going to heat some oil in a pan. To that, we are going to add about half a teaspoon of cumin seeds and 2 red chilies. We are going to fry this for about half a minute on a low flame till the chilies and the cumin seeds are a little bit fried. And once they are, we'll turn off the gas and take out the chilies and the cumin seeds and keep them aside. Now to this oil itself, that is turning the heat back on, we will be adding some roughly chopped up onions and tomatoes. I've taken 1 small red onion and 2 medium-sized tomatoes, just chop them up roughly, and I've taken just 1 clove of garlic. So to the same pan, turning the gas on with the heat, we're going to add an onion, 2 tomatoes and some garlic. Now we're going to fry this for some time till the rawness of the onion and the garlic goes away and the tomato gets a little bit cooked. So we can just fry this for a minute or so, and then we're going to cover it up and cook it till the tomatoes and the onions get a little bit soft. This should take about a minute or 2. So once this is done, in the meantime, you can take a little bit of warm water and soak a very small ball of tamarind, because we're going to use the tamarind pulp. Also keep an appam stand ready. And we have this ready-made idli batter, or you can use the homemade one. Just add a little bit of salt to taste. Now once our tomatoes and our onions are done well, it still has to get a little bit softer. So we are going to cover this and cook it for another minute, because we want it to be a very soft consistency. So when you press it down with a spatula, it actually breaks up. So now we've reached the consistency we require. So we're going to turn off our gas and let this mixture cool completely. Now, once our mixture is completely cooled, we're going to grind all of these ingredients to a very fine chutney. So first goes in the onion, the tomato, the garlic, followed by our red chilies and cumin, which we have fried. A little bit of salt to taste. I'm adding about half a teaspoon. You can always adjust the salt as required. There goes in the red chilies, which we have fried, along with the cumin seeds, which we have fried. Well, this recipe is shared by my sister-in-law Ajita D'Souza. Thanks, Ajita. This is such a great recipe when you have unexpected guests coming over. You know, it's so quick and the chutney is just delicious. So there it is. Look at the lovely orange color. You can even have this with dosas. Now for the instant appams, just brush the appam pan with a little bit of ghee or oil or butter, whatever is your choice. And we're just going to pour in our idli batter, which we have added a little bit of salt to taste. This is an ideal recipe when you just want to make something quick for breakfast, or you have guests coming over and you just want to have a great snack to offer. It's really very delicious. And now we're going to just cover this and cook it on one side for half a minute on a low to medium flame till our appams are nice and brown on one side. And now using 2 teaspoons, first check that a little bit brown. They have to be a little bit brown on the edges. That shows that the underside, the under part is cooked. Yes, there it is, a little on the browner side. So just turn them very gently using a fork or a spoon. The batter will now get cooked on the other side too. So you'll have these real crispy instant appams. This is not the authentic appam recipe. I will share that with you soon. But this is just the instant one. Because when we had gone to Ajita's place, she served us this with this amazing chutney. And it was so delicious that immediately I asked her to share the recipe with me. And she so graciously did. And this is one of our favorite breakfast items. So make them nice and golden brown on both sides. Fry them till they are really nice and crispy. Here you can see that they've really cooked very well. And it doesn't even take much time to cook. About 5 minutes in total on both sides. I'll show you one more batch. Just brush it with some, here I'm using some oil, but you can use ghee or you can use butter. The pan has to be nice and hot, but you make this hot, the pan hot on a low to medium flame, not on a high flame. And fill them up, cover and let them cook on both sides till golden brown. So friends, I hope you like this recipe. I hope you will try out this recipe and let me know in the comments box below how you liked it. And there it is, the lovely red. So friends, we're going to heat oil in a pan, and once the oil is hot, we're going to start by adding our ginger garlic paste. We're going to fry this paste till the rawness of the ginger and the garlic goes away. So that will take about half a minute. This is on a low to medium flame. Once our ginger garlic is nice and done, we're going to add our onion. We're going to fry the onion till it becomes a little translucent. Then we're going to add kasuri methi. I've mentioned before that whenever we make any paneer dishes, it's good to add some kasuri methi. It just enhances the flavor of the paneer. So I've just taken some kasuri methi, just crushed it up, and I'm just going to put it into the dish. Again, mix this up well. Now I will leave a description of how I made the puree, that is the Parac Puri or the spinach puree. So I'm adding a bowl of this. See the color of the puree, it's so fresh and green. But when you're buying palak, always go for the baby palak leaves, the very light green small leaves. Don't go for the very big palak or spinach leaves. The small baby palak leaves are really so delicious and so different and very, very fresh. They have a totally different flavor altogether. So mix all of this very well. Even making the palak puri is very, very simple. Now we're going to add our salt to taste. Now this dish does require a little bit of salt, so do taste and see whether you require salt. I'm adding about 1 teaspoon of salt. Give all of this a good mix. Now we're going to add a little bit of red chili powder, the regular chili powder. Give all of this a mix again. And now it's time to add the paneer cubes. Now this is also homemade paneer. I have a video on how to make cottage cheese or paneer at home. I will leave a link of that below. So add that. And then give everything a mix, ensuring that you don't break the paneer cubes. So be very gentle when you're mixing everything up. Now after this, we are going to cover and cook this for about 5 minutes so that everything gets well mixed and well incorporated together. So we'll cover this and cook it for 5 minutes. Now after 5 minutes, we're just going to just uncover it, give it a gentle stir. And then we're just going to add some fresh cream. Now this is again the fresh cream that we get from the milk that we use every day at home. We just have to collect the cream. So you can just whip that up a little or beat it up a little, and we're going to add that. Or if you have a packet of fresh cream, you can add that too. It really adds a very nice flavor to this dish. So again, just give everything a gentle mix. And your palak paneer is all ready. All you need to do is just transfer it into a serving bowl or a serving dish and serve it with some hot and fresh rotis or chapatis or puris, or it even goes well with some rice. So this is a very, very easy dish. It hardly takes any time to prepare. The only thing is you have to have your palak puri ready, and even that gets ready very, very quickly. So there it is, friends. Palak paneer all ready. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Akshata's Recipes. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I've come up with a new recipe of sweet potato kheer, which is really, really delicious and very healthy too. So we're not going to be using any sugar in this recipe, and it's super delicious. So let's start with the video, the recipe, and join me at the end of the recipe because I have a few important tips for this recipe so that you get it perfect and all the other alternatives you can use in the recipe. So let's jump into the recipe and meet me after the recipe. a real easy recipe and looks really delicious and something you would really want to try. Now, not everyone is a fan of sweet potato, but sweet potato is really healthy. It's also good for weight loss. Instead, if you like potatoes and you're not eating, you cannot eat potatoes because of, it's health reasons, then sweet potato would be a good alternative. Also, I'm not using any sugar in this recipe, so again, it's a healthy recipe. I'm substituting it with gur or jaggery, as some of you say. And also I am using milk, which is coconut milk. Now, instead of coconut milk, you can also use regular milk. If you don't want to go through the process of making the coconut milk, you can use regular milk. You can also use another shortcut, which sometimes I do use when I'm in a hurry to make something, and that is using coconut milk powder. So you get these small sachets, of coconut milk powder. You just use that with hot water and your coconut milk is ready. So that's really an easy alternative, rather than going through the gruesome process of grinding the coconut and extracting the milk. I mean, if you have all the time in the world and you have that much patience, you can do it, but otherwise this is the easiest method, to use coconut milk powder. And you can also use regular milk, like I said, or almond milk, or whatever milk you generally use when making your desserts. You've seen I've used turmeric leaves. That's because I have turmeric leaves growing in my window garden. But if you don't have turmeric leaves, it's okay, you can skip it out. But now during the monsoon season, you do get turmeric leaves, easily available in the market, and they're really very, very reasonable. Like you get about 5 big leaves for about 10 rupees. So that is, if you can access it, then it's great, because this turmeric leaf adds a beautiful flavor, a very light and subtle but really beautiful flavor to this kheer. So if you can get your hands on it, there's nothing like it. But if you don't have it, it's fine, you can skip it. And thank you again, and take care of yourselves. Take care, be healthy, stay fit, and be loving and kind to one another. And I'll catch you soon in my next recipe, sooner than you think. This is Akshata signing off. Lots of love. Bye.